The 10 universal values that shape every culture. Ramu Bishwakarma, PhD. Understanding the 10 values we all share can help us navigate conflict, live with clarity, and connect more deeply with others. Why do some people value tradition while others chase freedom and adventure? Why do cultures differ and yet seem to share the same moral language? These questions fascinated psychologist Shalom H. Schwartz, whose work helps us understand the hidden forces guiding our lives, our values. Schwartz, a respected social psychologist, is best known for his groundbreaking research into the core values that influence human behavior across the globe. Born in 1936 in the United States to immigrant parents, he grew up in a culturally rich and socially aware home. After completing his PhD at the University of Michigan, Schwartz spent most of his academic life at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, where he led one of the most far reaching studies on human values ever conducted. In a previous article on Medium, I wrote about Milton Rakan, one of the pioneers in the study of human values. There, I promised to follow up with an article about Schwartz, who built on Rakan's idea and took them a step further. This piece fulfills the promise and continues the journey I have been sharing, an exploration of how values shape our action, our relationships, and societies we build. From Rokia to Schwartz, mapping what matters. Rokia believed that human values like honesty, freedom, and equality plays a major role in shaping our decisions. He grouped values into two types: terminal values, life goals, and instrumental values, way of behaving. Schwartz admired Roka's work but wanted to ask a broader question: are there values that all people in every culture recognize as important? To find out, he collected data from over 70,000 people in more than 80 countries, asking them to rate how important various values were in their lives. What he discovered was striking. Although people rank values differently, the same core values show up across culture. 10 values that shape us all. Schwartz identified 10 basic values that are recognized globally. Each one is tied to a basic human motivation: self direction, freedom to think and act for yourself; stimulation, a desire for excitement and new experiences; hedonism, enjoyment and pleasure in life; achievement, being successful and showing competence; power, social status and control over people or resources; security, safety and stability in life and society; conformity, obeying rules and not upsetting others; tradition, respect for customs and cultural or religious practices; benevolence, helping and caring for those close to us; universalism, caring for all people and natural world. These values form a circle where adjacent values are compatible and opposing ones often pull in different directions. For example, self-direction and conformity can create internal tension. One encourages independence, the other urges rule following. 4 broad value categories. Schwartz also grouped the 10 values into four larger themes: openness to change, self direction, stimulation, hedonism, conservation, security, conformity, tradition, self enhancement, achievement, power, hedonism, self transcendence, benevolence, universalism. These themes help explain why we often face value conflicts. A person might struggle between career ambition, achievement, and spending time with loved one, benevolence. Cultures also vary in how they prioritize these themes, which can influence everything from parenting to community life. Values across cultures. Schwartz research found that countries differ in how strongly they emphasize certain values. Western European nations often rank self direction and universalism highly, while more traditional societies may place more importance on security, conformity, and tradition. Yet, within every society, individuals vary greatly. This model has become a tool for many fields, from education and public policy to non-profit work and cross-cultural communication. It helps people craft messages, build understanding, and design better systems that reflect people's values. Why knowing your values can change your life. Schwartz theory isn't just for researchers, it has powerful practical uses in everyday life. As individuals, understanding your own values can bring clarity and peace. If you know what you deeply value, self direction, you might feel stressed in overly rigid work environments. Recognizing this can guide better life and career choices. In families, many family disagreements stem from conflicting values. Parents may emphasize tradition and security while children lean toward freedom and novelty. Instead of judging, families can learn to appreciate different priorities. In society, knowing what values a community holds can lead to more effective public programs, more inclusive schools, and more compassionate policies. It can even support conflict resolution by revealing the shared values hidden beneath surface disagreement. Values are not abstract ideals, they are the quiet forces shaping how we live, navigating value conflicts, and finding balance. Schwartz's work reveals that beneath our cultural differences lies a shared framework of core values, but he also emphasized that these values are not always harmonious. In fact, real life decisions often require people to balance or even choose between conflicting values, like the drive for personal freedom versus the pull of social responsibility, or the pursuit of achievement versus the value of connection and care. As aspirations change with time and societies face new challenges, some values may feel at odds with the pace or direction of progress. Recognizing this tension is not a problem, it's an opportunity. By understanding which values are clashing in a moment of stress, conflict, or uncertainty, individuals can make more thoughtful choices. Families can communicate more clearly about what matters most to each member. Societies can reflect on which values are being prioritized and whether those choices are fostering well being and inclusion. In this way, SWOR's framework is not just descriptive, it's a practical tool for growth. It allows us to become more aware of our inner compass, more empathetic in our relationships, and more intentional in how we move forward together. References written by Ramu Bishwakarma, PhD, social scientist, sociologist, knowledge enthusiast, wannabe humorist.